How's it going, everyone? InnovativeJdawg here, and in today's video we have finally made it to the finale of the trilogy that I set up with my top 10 Battle of Gods moments video. In the last video, we talked about 2015's Resurrection F, or Fukkatsu no F, and discussed the best moments in that film, so in this grand finale, it's finally time to talk about my personal favorite movie out of the bunch, 2018's Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's technically a 2018 film since it came out in Japan of that year, but over here in the West, the film released in theaters at the beginning of 2019, and I was fortunate enough to go and see it the moment it came out. I've just had such an overall fantastic experience with this film, especially the lead up to it thanks to Fathom Events showing off remastered Dragon Ball Z films and specials in preparation for this movie. There was a lot of hype leading into this movie, and for me, it didn't disappoint. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the top 10 best moments of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Number 10. Broly activates his Akira state. The legendary Super Saiyan form is great and all, but I think the Dragon Ball Super variation of Broly, at least as of now, is most associated with his feral-looking Akira state. Plenty of fans were immediately drawn into this transformation upon its debut, simply because of the callback to the Oozaru transformation, the very first transformation seen in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. The Akira state brought new life into this vastly inferior yet very iconic transformation by containing the power of the Oozaru within your humanoid body and turning you into a feral beast with piercing yellow eyes. It's just an aesthetically pleasing form to look at. Maybe I'm just a sucker for forms that look similar to the user's base form, but I love the subtle hints to Super Saiyan 4 within the Akira state, and I'm sure plenty of you do as well. Despite being non-canon, Super Saiyan 4 is no doubt one of the most fan-favorited forms in Dragon Ball lore, so when the idea of containing Oozaru power into a humanoid body, just like what happened with the Golden Oozaru in GT came about, Super Saiyan 4 fans lost their minds at these subtle references and the possibility that the form could one day become canon. Who knows what the future has in store for this state though, but I can definitely say that I'm looking forward to it. Number 9. Goku turns Super Saiyan Blue. As much as I love the calm transformation sequence often associated with the Super Saiyan Blue form, this intense scene of Goku rapidly flashing in and out of different colors was really something else. The most notable visual to come out of this sequence is no doubt that subtle tease of Ultra Instinct as Goku's hair and eyes flash out of their godly red color into a piercing silver for a split second. Many fans still debate whether this was an intentional Easter egg with the animation, just to make the scene visually pop, or if Goku was actually trying to tap back into Ultra Instinct. But regardless of what you believe, the sheer amount of colors being utilized easily makes this sequence stand apart from the remainder of the film. In fact, I made a video a while back discussing the importance of color within Dragon Ball Super Broly, and how certain colors had certain meanings, with this transformation sequence being the main inspiration behind that fun little analysis that I put together. So I highly recommend checking that video out if you want to see me try and make any logical sense of these visuals. Number 8. Broly's backstory with Ba. Whether you're a fan of the original Broly from Dragon Ball Z or not, can we all agree that his backstory wasn't really the strongest part of his character? Being driven mad by the constantly crying baby next to you is an interesting concept, but it shouldn't have been the focal point of Broly's vengeance towards Goku. Thankfully, Dragon Ball Super Broly takes a different approach to Broly's backstory by introducing the Vampa beast known as Ba. Upon befriending both Chilai and Lemmo, Broly expresses how the only real friend he's had up until that point was one of the beasts on the planet he was stranded on. Broly would train and have fun with Ba until one day, Paragus decided to shoot an ear off the beast, believing his son was slacking off on training and simply playing with the beast. After that event, the beast never saw Broly as a friend again. It's a pretty simple backstory, but it gives so much meaning behind Broly's character and dives deep into his toxic relationship with his father, showing how he was seen as nothing but a pawn in Paragus' thirst for vengeance on King Vegeta. The fact that he keeps Ba's ear wrapped around him at all times as a reminder of his first friend just makes Broly more of a sympathetic character when compared to his original counterpart. Number 7. Vegeta vs. Broly. Even though I would have wanted Vegeta to take the win against Broly, as the two characters are heavily intertwined due to their history, and Vegeta being in desperate need of a win against a main antagonist, I was relatively happy with this first battle between the two Saiyans. Not only is it great that Broly is ordered to attack Vegeta first, showing that this version of the character isn't strung up on Goku, it's just great seeing fights where Vegeta gets to show pure dominance over the opponent. Usually, Vegeta's role in a fight is meant to showcase how tough that opponent is, leading to him getting pummeled only for Goku to step in and take over, so it's nice to see Vegeta be the leading man in a fight every so often. Number 6. Bardock and Guinea send Kakarot away. I'm not the biggest fan of the Dragon Ball Minus storyline, but for the most part, I think its inclusion fits with the overall tone of this film. I prefer Goku having the unique aspect of coming to Earth with intent to destroy, only to hit his head and forever change his purpose, as I was never a big fan of this remake Toriyama made trying to turn him into a carbon copy of Superman. However, I will admit that the scene of Bardock and Guinea sending Kakarot away from planet Vegeta made me tear up a little bit. It's probably the most emotional scene in the entire movie for me. It's just a beautifully lit scene, accompanied by a beautiful score, and the sheer emotion behind Guinea's dialogue, not wanting Kakarot to forget her or Bardock. It's terribly tragic because we already know that he grows up to not know a thing about who they were. Because we already know the tragic fate of Kakarot's parents, we're emotionally invested into the bright future instilled into the Saiyan baby as he's sent off, and Bardock falls, the music playing in the background perfectly displays both the sadness of the moment and the tragedy of what's to come. Number 5. Goku vs. Broly. Even though the fight between Vegeta and Broly was great, I personally enjoyed the Goku fight just a tad bit more due to how pumped up it got me. The music playing in the background as the two Saiyans bounced around the sky, slamming into each other, and the constant point of view camera shots as the two fly through mountains made you feel like you were part of the action. Dragon Ball always does a great job at making it feel like you're part of the scene at hand, but the incorporation of the POV shots helped display the levity of this fight when compared to the previous fight with Vegeta. On top of this, I loved the stark contrast between Goku, who showed off more graceful martial arts skills as he ascended through each transformation, and the sheer power behind Broly as he continued to lose control and grow in size. Overall, this is a fantastic fight. Number 4. Vegeta turns Super Saiyan God. If any Saiyan is known for skipping forms, it's no doubt Vegeta. After Vegeta demanded he be the next to receive God Ki at the end of Battle of Gods, and later on reveal his Super Saiyan Blue transformation in Resurrection F, shocking not just Frieza, but the audience as well, everyone was wondering how, when, and even if Vegeta had achieved Super Saiyan God. Prior to the battle against Broly, we hadn't seen Vegeta showcase his godly red hair, outside of the manga of course, as his training to reach the form's power took place off camera, but man, it was really fulfilling to see it after all that build up from the past several movies. Not only did he immediately put Broly down for the count with this form, but the way Vegeta's aura transitions into a flame and the way his golden hair transitions into a piercing red color is very satisfying. Vegeta pulls this transformation off very well. Number 3. Gogeta is born. How great would it have been to see Gogeta appear in this film without any prior info of him being in the movie? Regardless of what the movie spoiled with its promotion, I've always been a big fan of Gogeta, so it was amazing to finally see him become canon after 2 full decades. However, what really makes me like this fusion dance sequence isn't just the comeback of a fan-favorite character, but it was hilarious that Broly was pawned off on Frieza and pummeled for a full hour while Goku and Vegeta continuously messed up the fusion dance, showcasing the return of Veku and a new skinny version of Gogeta. Number 2. Call Me Kakarot. Not to toot my own horn again and self-promote another video or anything, but I've actually done a full breakdown of these last 3 words in the entire movie, so I highly recommend checking that video out. I'll leave a link to it down in the description of this video. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that explanation I made helped me appreciate these final words so much more, and hearing Goku refer to himself as Kakarot with a smile on his face is just fantastic character development. Of course, this sentence could have been a simple callback to the original Broly, who would constantly shout Kakarot at the top of his lungs, like so many of you have pointed out to me, but if you expand your point of view and dig deep into the meaning of these 3 simple words, you'll find something much more meaningful than a simple reference. This scene showcases the potential friendship between Goku and Broly, further develops the character of Kakarot, and is a fulfilling ending to this fantastic film for all of us Dragon Ball fans who can spot the reference within this sentence, and the potential storytelling elements it pushed forward. Number 1. Gogeta vs. Broly. I couldn't have put anything else in the number 1 spot. I simply couldn't have. This final fight between these two originally non-canon characters was something nobody ever expected to see officially happen. It was great enough seeing these two duke it out in the opening for Budokai 3, but now both Broly and Gogeta were here. They were canon, and this fight certainly didn't disappoint for all of us who replayed this fight over and over again in the video games. Everything about this fight was stunning, the animation was fantastic and kept me enthralled in the action, the music worked surprisingly well, and kept me pumped up with the intense movement. Plus, there was actually emotion in this fight due to us connecting with Broly throughout the entire movie, and it was really weird seeing Gogeta in the antagonistic position because none of us wanted to see this Broly get killed, and thankfully, Chilai stopped that from happening. I could go on and on about this fight, analyzing why it's such a visually pleasing fight and a satisfying duel in terms of storytelling and character development, but for now, I'm just gonna have to keep it simple by saying that Gogeta vs. Broly deserves its place as the best moment in Dragon Ball Super Broly. There we have it, everyone. Those are just 10 of my personal favorite moments from Dragon Ball Super Broly. What are your favorite moments and why? Leave them down in the comments and let's have a discussion. There are a ton more moments that I didn't include in this video, but that's just what makes this movie great. Everyone can have their own personal favorite moment and go into this movie getting a different experience than I did. And really, that can be said for all of the previous movies I talked about. At the end of the day, no matter what your feelings are on Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, or DBS Broly, we're all Dragon Ball fans, and we can't deny that these three films helped spark a renaissance in the Dragon Ball franchise and made it even bigger than it ever was. So I'm gonna end this video on a high note. I love all three of these films and I had a blast revisiting them for these videos. Maybe sometime soon I'll do this sort of project again and revisit older Dragon Ball films. Wouldn't that be fun? But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as those previous two discussions, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to this channel and give me your support by giving this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends as well, I greatly would appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll be seeing all of you later.